Hey folks, this is a public service announcement. If you go someplace like a doctor's office or some type of public-y type of building where they require you to still wear masks in summer of 2022, like we're still doing this shit, and they just pull out a suspect-looking mask like this and just hand it to you, like, here's a mask. Like they pull it out of like a Dunkin' Donuts bag, or they pull it out of their pocket, or they pull it from under the counter. And it's just like, oh, here you go with my suspicious hands that you don't know where my hands have been. You don't know if I'm scratching my ass, whether I'm wiping my nose, picking my nose, touching doorknobs, touching toilet seats. And I'm just going to touch this mask with my bare hands and say, here's a suspect mask. I'm not going to hand it to you with gloves on. I'm not going to just hand you a box and let you pull the mask out of the box by yourself. And none of the masks are individually wrapped. But yet we're supposed to still take this shit seriously as if something like this that they gave me. I wasn't even in a real doctor's office. I was in a psychiatrist's office. There's no sick people in the fucking office. But this lady just handed this to me like this. I don't know where the fuck your hands have been. Where the fuck has this mask been? The mask was all wrinkly and shit. Like, it was all wrinkly. Like, it looked like it was all manhandled. Like, you know, people have been using it already. And it looked kind of dirty. Like, it was sitting in the bottom of a drawer. And then she was like, well, that's all the hospital would give us, because it's a hospital clinic. So it's like, that's all the hospital would give us. I said, yeah, I still ain't fucking wearing it. I say, I never wore a mask from the first day I came here, and I still ain't wearing a fucking mask. But this is how a hospital gives you masks. They don't, like, have a box where you can pull them out yourself and unwrap them and put them on your face. No. Oh, just here. I might have touched doorknobs. I might have touched keyboards and toilet seats and God knows what else I touched with my hands. I'm going to put this shit all over the mask, and then you're going to put this on your face the entirety of your stay here or the entirety of your day. And that's what's healthy? That's what's healthy. I can't understand that that's what people, especially in the medical industry, think is healthy. That's not healthy, folks. If I don't know where your hands have been, you have no right touching the inside of a mask that I put on my face. Especially if we're in the middle of a deadly pandemic and a global health crisis. This is how you're handing masks out to people in the wealthiest country in the world. A wealthy, first world, most powerful country in the world. This is the best we can do for masks. Yo, folks, you could go to fucking Haiti right now, and if they required you to wear a mask in a hospital, I guarantee they give you a brand new mask out of a fucking box in Haiti. Go to any fucking impoverished country, they'll give you brand new masks out of a fucking box. Only in America does someone hand you a fucking used mask out of a fucking Dunkin' Donuts bag with a straight face and tell you that that makes sense. Here, put this on your face. I only put my hands all over it, and I can't prove to you where this came from or where it's been or anything. I can't even prove if there's germs on here or if there's no germs on here. This was in a Ziploc bag. The lady had a Ziploc bag with assorted masks, and none of them even matched, and none of them were even individually wrapped. This is a hoax, folks. It's a fucking hoax, because if this shit was real in any way, and this is a real deadly pandemic, they wouldn't be doing stupid horse shit like this. This is stupid, retarded bullshit. It's a retard test. That's what it's called. It's called a retard test. That's what the whole coronavirus is about. It's a mental illness. The corona is your head. Virus means you're ill. It's a mental illness. The whole point in the coronavirus is to make society mentally ill to where you believe anything the authorities tell you. So this woman was a receptionist in a doctor's office. She only pretty much speaks Filipino and Spanish mostly, so she's going to believe anything that the white doctors tell her and her bosses tell her, because she's just a wage slave and she's just a simpleton who's a receptionist. She's not really a medical personnel of any type, so she doesn't even know enough to question the validity of this whole thing. But they have even nurses and doctors so stupefied with this that they believe this shit makes sense. Here's a suspect mask. It's better than nothing. Which is like a complete fucking lie, because anyone who knows me and who's been following me on social media knows damn right well that I have never worn a mask from day one. And I've ridden the trains, the buses, the subways. I work in crowded, dirty neighborhoods in New York City. And I've never been sick this entire time. Never, ever have I been sick or tested positive for any type of respiratory illnesses, and I've never worn a fucking mask. I don't let my kids wear a mask. I don't wear a mask. This is stupid bullshit. This is a fucking dust mask with fucking breathing holes in it. This is not going to protect you from anything, and all this is going to do is harm you in the long run. Even if it's clean and sanitary, it's going to harm you to wear this all day, unless you're trying to block out sheetrock dust or something. But this is not going to keep you safe from deadly respiratory illnesses that are sweeping the globe. But look around you, folks. Look around you. I live in a big apartment complex where thousands of people live here. A lot of elderly people, a lot of rickety looking, sickly looking old people, and nobody fucking dies. None of these people died. There's been no vacancies in these apartments the whole time. Nobody even moved away because of the pandemic. Everybody's still here. I see my same 100 fucking year old neighbors hobbling down the block with their canes and their walkers and shit. And they just stopped wearing masks recently. And these people wore masks the whole time. They all got vaccinated. They all stayed in their apartments, all this type of horse shit. But none of these people died. And they want you to think that this will get you no matter what. You go out of your house, take your mask off, whatever you do, ride an Uber car, you're going to get the virus. None of these fucking people died. And I got a 500 unit complex here, thousands of people living here. Not a one of these people died of coronavirus. And I'm in a very congested neighborhood in a very congested city. And there's no lines outside the funeral homes. In fact, the funeral homes are all closed up still. You barely see funerals ever anymore. So this whole thing is all bullshit, and people still buying into it. Are you still buying into it, folks? Don't still be buying into it, because this is the ultimate test of if you're buying into this shit or not. I said no. They still let me into my doctor's appointment. My doctor sat there and talked to me with a mask on until he eventually smartened up and took his fucking mask off. You know, because people, even when they're buying into it, some of them still aren't buying into it. They just play along. Are you just playing along, folks? Are we just playing along, or are we buying into it? Why are you playing along? Why are you buying into it? Either way, don't buy into it. Don't play along. Don't be other people's fool. This is a foolish game, and you're being played for an idiot. Are you falling for it? Are you playing the idiot? Are you playing the smart person? Let's be smart, folks. You don't put these on babies. You don't have to wear these in the car with the windows up by yourself. It's all fake. It's all fake. We're going into like year 3. It's all fake, folks. Nobody's dying. Nobody's dying.